At this time, we're going to reconvene in public session, the regular board meeting of the Parish Union High School District at 5:18. Dr. Freeman, you have an invocation? Everyone please rise, please. Oh, I didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Sorry, I'm messing up. I don't get... Stand for the pledge, please. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have been having some really strange and interesting things happening in the last several weeks, months, even the last couple of years. We've had some local problems with one of our schools. We've had more problems regarding COVID. And this being the holiday season, I just want to remind everybody that there is a reason for this season and that we should be thinking about that as we go through our daily lives. And let's all have a great Christmas season. And forgive me if you're Jewish, but also happy Hanukkah season. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman. At this point, we're at our annual organization meeting for the governing board of the Parish Union High School District. So we're going to be electing officers. So the first office that we're looking at is president. Do we have any nominations for president? Dr. Freeman?
I would like to nominate Mr. David Nelson.
Mr. Nelson has been nominated. Do I have a second? Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other nominations? I'll close nominations in, so if you could all please vote. Mr. Freeman, Mr. Nelson has been elected president of the board. I want to pass the gavel on to him.
Actually, we switched right now, huh? Not yet?
Not today.
Oh, not today? Okay.
I thought he was going to use a gavel on me.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. It's been a couple years since I've had the power.
Oh, please.
All right, that takes us to 7.2, election of a vice president. Do I have a motion? I have a nomination?
A nomination. Yeah, I would like to nominate Trustee Stafford to continue as
Trustee
vice
Stafford?
president. Yes.
Do I have a second? Not here.
Second.
Second, okay. So we have a nomination by Dr. Rouse. We have a second by Trustee Vallejo. Please vote. All right, when that passes 5-0, so our new vice president is Trustee Stafford. Congratulations, good for you. All right, that moves us to 7.3, the election of the clerk. Do I have a motion, or a nomination, I'm sorry? Mr. Freeman, Dr. Freeman?
I would like to nominate Elizabeth Viejo to serve as clerk.
Surprise, surprise. All right, and do I have a second for? Okay, I have a nomination by Dr. Freeman and a second by Trustee Stafford for Elizabeth Vallejo for the clerk. Any other nominations? No? Okay, please vote. You are allowed to vote, yes, absolutely. You can vote no if you don't want to do it, so. All right, but it does pass 5-0, so our new clerk is Elizabeth Vallejo. Congratulations.
Really bored to know that she's so gotten it 4-1.
All right. Next point of order is 7.4, election of the representative for the County Committee on School District Organization. This is that once-a-year meeting for school district organization. Do we have a nomination?
I nominate Dr. Freeman.
Dr. Freeman. Do we have a second?
I knew that was going to happen.
Trustee Stafford. So we have a nomination by Dr. Rouse and a second by Trustee Freeman for Trustee Stafford for Dr. Freeman to be the representative. Any other nominations?
I wish.
No, not hearing any. Let's vote.
Okay.
All right, and it passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. So Dr. Freeman is our representative. I don't know if you want us to clap for you, but
I know when I'm working.
Thank you. All right. We also have a list of the regular board meetings at 7.5. It's a selection of day, time, and location of regular meetings. There is a PDF file for the proposed board meetings. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Arau,
Second.
second by Trustee Stafford. Any comments, anything like that? Anybody want to make changes? No? All right, then let's vote.
Let me,
Dr. Arau, I don't think it's gone
oh,
through
I'm
yet.
sorry.
That's okay? It went through?
No, I was trying to take a picture, so because I need to put them in my calendar
Oh.
right away.
We can forward you that PDF. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on one second, please. Let me just go back to the IC. Done.
All right, and the motion passes 5-0. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Takes us to 7.6, appointment of the superintendent as secretary to the Board of Trustees. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman,
Second.
second by Trustee Vallejo. Please vote. And that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Move to 7.7, certification of signatures. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Arouse,
Second.
second by Dr. Freeman. Please vote.
Okay.
I'm sorry, do we?
Discussion?
Discussion, yes.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, it is recommended what we are doing. We are voting to authorize Mr. Bennett, Ms. Raines, Alicia, to sign orders drawn on funds of the district for payroll and accountable. And there is several things, but it says to sign the document, so we don't have to go each of us and sign something. We have this discussion like 2 or 3 meetings ago. It's not about making the decision without the board approval. This certification is for signatures only. They are going to sign on our behalf.
Yes.
Once we have approved, or once the board has approved, is that understood, or am I understanding that correctly? Ms. Raines in this case.
Yeah, that's the case both in this item, which is the certification of signatures, so that's, warrants, all kinds of things. And then the next item is the delegation of authorized agents, and so together it's exactly right.
Okay, so at this time, we're okay, we are going to pay attention to the next one, just to be on the, and it's very clear.
You're focusing on the approval, not ratification.
I'm focusing on the, well, yes,
For
exactly.
approvals,
It has
not
to be
ratification.
approved, we need to follow the regular process, approval, then ratification, after ratification, they sign, because they are signing on our behalf. That's why we are authorizing them, and it's very clear, to sign. Yeah.
To sign
Not
employee
to-
authorization transmittals,
Exactly.
that type of thing, yes.
Okay,
All right, any other questions, discussion?
no,
No, hearing none, please vote. And that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. And just like Ms. Rand said, 7.8 is the designation of authorized agent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr.
second,
Freeman and Dr. Arau as a second. You good with the discussion this time? Any more questions? Nothing? Okay, please vote. And we have it's approved 5 in favor, 0 opposed. And that will take us to, hold on, 8.1, where we will recess this regular board meeting to move to the California Military Institute Charter School Board meeting. So we are on recess at 5:28.
You struck that very presidentially.
Yeah. Okay, it's open. Please join the meeting. There we go. All right. I'll call this board meeting of the California Military Institute to order at 5:29. That takes us to 3.1, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda for tonight's board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Dr. Arouse with the first and Dr. Freeman with the second. Please vote. And we have, that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. That leads us to 4.1, student representative to the Board of Trustees. And from CMI, we have Cadet Colonel Katura Weeks. I believe we have a video.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Bennett, and members of the cabinet. For those that don't know me, my name is Cadet Colonel Katura Weeks, the 9th Brigade Commander, and in this presentation, I'll be discussing some of the amazing activities that have been taking place here at CMI. Beginning with our recent school events, our band recently had their first concert, where band students got to showcase what they've mastered this semester and over the years. Sadly, I didn't get the chance to attend, but like usual, our band blew family and friends away. Next up is Coco and Cram, a wonderful event hosted by Link Crew, where Link tutors spend an entire week tutoring freshmen. With warm, hot cocoa, delicious snacks, and constant support, Link tutors created a perfect environment for freshmen to comfortably study and improve their grades. And last but not least, we had our first ever pep rally. I mentioned this in the last presentation, but I wanted to talk about how amazing it was to experience our first pep rally in our brand new gym. As a senior, I waited years to experience something like that. So I speak for all students when I say that we had a great time. Kudos to ASB. On to our athletics. Our girls varsity soccer team has been practically undefeated for their entire season so far, and we only anticipate that they'll maintain their winning streak. Our boys varsity soccer and boys and girls varsity basketball teams are also doing exceptionally well so far. We can't wait to see what they'll continue to do throughout their season. Middle school boys and girls basketball has also recently started their seasons, and they're off to a great start. The middle school girls even won their first game last week. And in terms of our clubs and school activities, CMI has been showing off and showing out, like usual. Our color guard has been in high demand as we've been performing perfect color guard at different venues throughout our community. And our marching band is most certainly getting the recognition they deserve. It's not just me speaking highly of our renowned color guard and marching band, but also our community, as we recently earned our 4th trophy this year for our performance at the City of Paris's 32nd annual Christmas parade. In addition to marching at the Christmas parade, CMI cadets also performed at the Christmas tree lighting. Now, in regards to our JRCC-related activities, we recently had our past review. Some of you in this meeting graced us with your presence, and we're really glad that you got to witness an event that showcases the time, dedication, and discipline our students commit every single day here at CMI. We've done a lot this semester. We haven't even breached the surface of all that we plan to do this year. With your support, we hope to start bringing back our traditional overnight events such as Non-Commissioned Officer Academy and Officer Candidate School, and state overnight events like the Individual Major Awards, CERT Training, and other California Cadet Corps competitions. These overnight events are a huge part of our morale here at CMI. We want to do everything that we can to ensure that cadets don't have to miss out on these amazing opportunities. In this slide are images of the NCOA we had during our last in-person school year. These cadets walked away from this event with confidence, leadership skills, increased emotional intelligence, and newfound friends. Not only do cadets leave as better versions of themselves, but they also leave wanting to inspire other cadets to better themselves too. Overnight events forced a degree of camaraderie that daytime events can't replicate. So again, I hope that you all are just as excited as we are about our upcoming overnight events. Lastly, I think it's critical that I share the measures that have been put in place to ensure the safety of our cadets at overnight events. In preparation for all events, we plan for a majority of outdoor training and readily available hand-wash/sanitizing stations. And in enclosed spaces, we ensure that there is ventilation. There is also mandatory COVID screening, and anyone that presents with any symptoms of COVID within 36 hours of departure must report it and may not attend. With that, there are wellness checks upon arrival, and several medic stations available in order to minimize interaction between separated groups of cadets. To make sure that no outbreaks occur, there are several regular health screenings, social distancing, masks indoors, and heavy sanitization of frequently used areas. We also have isolation and COVID contraction procedures in the unlikely event that a cadet tests positive and or exposes other cadets to COVID. All in all, we don't want COVID to take away any more than it already has from our cadets. So we have very strict guidelines and protocols to ensure the safety and welfare of our cadets. We've done amazing things this semester, and I hope you all are just as excited as me to see what the next semester brings. But with that concludes my presentation on the California Military Institute. If there are any questions, please refer them to the adult representing CMI. Thank you all so much for listening, and have a fantastic rest of your evening. Happy holidays.
I like that.
Yeah. Dr. Milosavljevic, please thank Cadet Colonel Weeks for that report. We move to 4.2, CMI President Angel LaBerens. Not here. Okay, move on to the next point. 4.3, Principals Update.
Good evening. Good evening, President Ellison, Board Member, Superintendent Bennett, and the Cabinet. I don't have a specific report for you this evening. Just wanted to wish everybody happy holidays and express my gratitude. You have always been very supportive of our school. You've all been and visited, and really we continue to be grateful for that support. And just wanted to say how grateful I am for the opportunity to do what I do and what I'm passionate about, and that is our school and raising and leading our students. So thank you, and unless there's any further questions, I'll yield my time.
Thank you, Dr. Milosavljevic.
All righty.
All right, leads us to 5.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items.
No takers this
No
evening,
takers
Mr.
tonight,
Nelson.
thank you. Leads us to 6.1, consent calendar, the approval of the consent calendar, excuse me. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Dr. Arauz,
Second.
Ms. Vallejo. Please vote. That passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Uh, 7.1, discipline. That's an information item. November 2021 monthly suspension report. 8.1, personnel. Certificate of personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So, second.
Mr. Stafford, and then Dr. Freeman was with the second. Please vote. And that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 8.2, personnel classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Vallejo? Mr. Stafford? Please vote. And that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 8.3, curriculum. California Military Institute Educator Effectiveness Block Grant Plan. That is an action item. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Freeman with the motion and Dr. Arauz with the second. Any questions? No? Okay, please vote. Then passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 8.4, business, report of purchases for November 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman?
Second.
Ms. Vallejo with the second. Please vote. That passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
we're not going to need to do the closed session at the end because we haven't been able to meet with them, so we would not need to recess this meeting at this time.
Okay, so this is not necessary, so we'll move on to the next bullet point.
You'll actually-
Also not necessary if we're not going to close session. Thank
Right.
you. Also, we don't need to adjourn. All right, so we'll
Down to 14.1.
okay, so we're going to bypass all the 11s here. Okay, jumping to 14.1, other items by the superintendent.
The only thing I have, I couldn't make the pass review. I was down at CSBA with the rest of our team, but I've heard great things of what they did out there. Did a great job, Dr. Milosavljevic. So thank the students and your staff for making that happen.
All right, thank you. 15.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. We'll go down the line here. Dr. Rouse? No? Mr. Stafford?
Thank you, Mr. Milosevic, for everything you're doing over at the school. All we hear is good news, and happy holidays to everyone there.
Dr. Freeman?
I continue to be highly impressed with the confidence and the knowledge, everything that you have for your student representatives, your leaders that come in here. I wanted to introduce her to my daughters. I figured, they could help pull it right up there, and they could teach her. She could teach them how to address the public.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman. Ms. Vallejo?
I'm just very glad that CMI is doing great. All the students and staff, I'm very appreciative towards you because it's a really great school, and I'm glad that they're doing great. And I wish all of you a happy holidays.
And for myself, I just wish all the staff and your students and yourself and all of your staff happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, and enjoy your couple weeks off. Okay, so now we move to 16.1, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So, second.
Mr. Stafford with the motion, Dr. Freeman with the second. Please vote. And the motion passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed, and we are adjourned at 5:40. Please rejoin the other board meeting. And we should be jumping straight to 8.1, I believe. No, 9.1, I'm sorry. All right. So now we are reconvening the original board meeting for the Paris Union High School District at 5:41. And we will start with 9.1, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda for tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Rouse with a motion, Dr. Freeman with a second. Please vote. And that passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Move to the next item. 10.1, report out of closed session.
No report out of closed session this evening.
Okay, thank you very much. 10.2, district update by the superintendent.
I just have a few things. I'll let you know, James. First thing I'd like to do is I want to present our past president with a plaque of appreciation for a year well done during tough times with COVID and things. So we appreciate your support, Dr. Ryan. Thank you for your service. Kirk wants to get a picture.
Speech.
Dennis can get rid of that plaque now.
Exciting thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, on the speech, I just want to say congratulations to our new president, Mr. Nelson. I know you are going to continue to do a wonderful job. You have done it, you have a lot of experience. Thank you.
Exciting thing. Tomorrow's the last day of the first semester. So we got through the first semester. It hasn't been easy, but we've got through, and the kids are making strides, and we're getting them lined where they need to be going again, and we're excited about that. We have a vaccine clinic set up on Friday at Heritage High School. So if you need 1, 2, or 3, your first, second, or third shot, you can go there. Also, you can get a flu shot if you want to. So if you need that, it's available. We want to thank Diane Martin. I see her out there. Where's Diane at? She's hiding over there. Diane, once again, headed up the Adopt a Student Family Program for how many years? 10 or 12 years, Diane?
20 plus.
20 plus years. I'm off. But she's been doing that a long time, and it's great that reaching out to our community and be able to help those that need help, and she does a wonderful job. So let's give Diane a round of applause. Liberty High School's WOW program, which is Women of Will program, had a canned food drive for Thanksgiving. They collected almost 1,000 cans to give to the local pantry in Menifee. And right now, tomorrow's the last day, they're finishing up a toy drive that they're going to give the toys to a local community organization to get out to the kids that are needy and not be able to have a real great holiday season. So we're happy to push that. And what Women of Will is, it's a program where girls get together and they go support other girls' sports. Because a lot of times they're left by nobody's watching their game, so they'll go there and be part of that. Today we had a great day great morning this morning. We got to go out and recognize our employees of the year, district-wide employees of the year. So we went out to the school sites and got them at their campus and had a really good time. So I thank the committee that did that, Kirk and his crew that put that together. And my last thing, go ahead, James. Can you get? I'm like the Santa Claus of Paris right now. I saw the picture of Mr. Milosavljevic had up there, the student had up there. That was me on top of the fire truck when I came in for the tree lighting. One more. So today I got to go to Paloma Valley High. Yesterday. Paloma Valley High School and meet with. They have their severely handicapped students, and they've been writing letters to Santa. So I went there that day and dressed up that's me in the Santa Claus costume, and that's the plus kids that go into the room and help peer tutor the kids and help them write their letters. So I got to meet with the kids individually. They all wanted pictures. So there's Jeremiah and Logan there. They were so excited to have me coming in there. It was cool. Go ahead. And Olivia and Vicky. Go ahead. Julian was my favorite one. For one thing, he had a Dodger mask on, which was the best thing that he could have done. But he was so excited. His hands, but it was great, and it was fun to see the excitement in those kids' face and stuff. One more, I think, James. And Sarai and Eli, they were both there. I went to another room too, but the teacher was absent, so we just went in and gave them a little prize, but it was fun, and it's great to be able to do that for the kids. Tomorrow I go to a special education nursery school program for the kids. To do that, it's only a half an hour, so I go there and I'll do that here at the Rob Reiner Center. So it's fun. It breaks up the day a little bit and it makes me feel good inside that seeing the excitement in kids' eyes and their faces. So and that'll be my report for this evening. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. All right, and that takes us to 10.3, student representatives to the Board of Trustees. So I guess I started off. From Heritage High School, we have student representatives Michaela Jacobs and Caden Olmos with a video.
Mr. Bennett and members of the cabinet. My name is Caden Olmos. And I'm Michaela Jacobs. We are excited to show you what has been going on here at Heritage in the month of December. The winter sports season kicked off right before Thanksgiving, so we waited to have our traditional winter legacy march until after we returned from break. Along with our winter sports, we had robotics, cheer, dance, band, and color guard join the march. Our chants are getting louder and there is growing spirit in these teams. We look forward to what they accomplish this season. Leaper hosted their final event of the semester, which was Cocoa and Cram, to help out sophomores and freshmen get ready for finals. For those who attended, they were given hot chocolate and had study groups as well as one-on-one tutoring from Leaper leaders. Finals continue for the rest of the week, so we are hoping for successful results. December 2nd, the Mighty Patriot Regiment had their first concert this year, followed closely by the Paris Parade. Mr. Gattiola has done an amazing job getting band and color guard ready for both events. The winter concert was a huge hit and had many students, friends, and family that went and had a great time. Just after that, band and color guard got up early for the Paris Parade. A massive shout out to the Mighty Patriot Regiment. Here are a few upcoming events. Camp Legacy, January 10th, January 13th, Cap and Gown Orders and Senior Parent Night, Winter Rally, January 28th, and Winter Dance, January 29th. February 18th will be the last day to purchase grad tickets. That concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for the continued support of what you do for Heritage. Thank you for your time, and we hope you have a restful and relaxing break.
All right. Thanks to Michaela and Caden for that update. Trustee Freeman.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Liberty High School student representatives Moena Mu and Samantha Sena. I'd also like to mention that I really like that guy's suit in that last one.
Members of the board, Mr. Bennett, members of the cabinet. My name is Samantha Sena, and I'm Liberty High School's ASB president. Beside me is my vice president, Moyana Mu. Here's some of the things that went on at Liberty High School during the month of December.
Women of Will is hosting its first annual toy drive. Students can bring brand new unwrapped toys to Coach Bennett's classroom. They're working with the Menifee community to disperse the gifts to families in need. The toy drive is going from December 1st to December 16th.
During the week of December 6th to December 10th, we conducted our first annual Holiday Spirit Week. Students and staff came in their best outfits, and we played holiday music during lunch to spread the festive spirit.
The counseling department is hosting 2 workshops this month to help students learn strategies to cope with stress and prepare for finals week. Tutoring was made available in the Learning Center for students in need of extra help on any assignments or that have questions about homework. ASB also distributed encouragement grants to all students before finals. These grants have a motivational message on them, as well as lollipops to help boost brain power.
We held out many celebrations, one of which was Staff of the Month of November, which was awarded to Aaron Winston, our PE teacher, cheer and stunt coach, and CCF lead, as well as Jeremy Folks, our library media technician.
This concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for your support in making Liberty High School happen.
Go Bison!
All right, thanks to Moyana and Samantha for that update. Now, Trustee Stafford.
I'd like to introduce from Paloma Valley High School, student representatives Megan McCantigay and Cassie Madigal. I think I messed that up. But
Hello, Paris Union High School District and Superintendent Mr. Bennett. I am Cassie Madrigal. I am 1 out of 2 for ASB's social media advisors.
And I'm Megan Makatana, this year's HR treasurer, and if you're wondering why I'm dressed like a Christmas tree, this is for extra credit for AP Calculus. Shout out to Ms. Lindy, your G. Yep. To start things off, our winter sports recently started up. We have our girls and boys soccer, our girls and boys basketball, our girls and boys wrestling. We also have our girls water polo, as well as our competitive cheer team.
Recently, our NJRCC Battle Cats attended the Battle of Midway exhibition competition, competing against at least 10 other schools. They placed first in Unarmed X and Armed X. They also placed first overall. This is their second consecutive win for Battle of Midway, and this is also their second win of the year. They're on a roll.
Our Key Club also held their annual Proving Grounds talent show. A lot of different organizations came to support us, and we also had a lot of performances, some of them by FCDT, which is a local dance company, their sub-unit called Male Purrs, as well as our resident dance clubs such as Exclusives and Ohana Aloha. We had 3 winners. Our first winner was Haley McCormick, our second winner was the Male Purrs, and our third winner was Lisa Kongwonse. And our Viewer's Choice Award, which was with a staggering 420 plus votes, was our resident club, The Exclusives.
Recently, our PVHS Link crew hosted their freshman and every other grade was also allowed to participate their freshman Spirit Week with things like fresh out of the gym, fresh, we're white, things like pajama day, and then maroon.
And we also had a pretty big basketball game occur recently. It was against Citrus Hill. It was our Silent 11 game, which essentially is where the crowd stays silent until the 11th point. This was in honor of a teacher that sadly passed last year. His name was Mr. Walsh, and his jersey number was 11. We had a great outcome. A lot of teachers, parents, and students came out to support. We had pizza, a costume contest, and we even had our maroons between out there.
Some of the upcoming events we have for the rest of the school year include our Final Spirit Week, which is coming up next week, our Winter Spirit Week, and our Winter Prep Rally. We hope that was all, and we hope you guys have a great rest of your holidays and Happy New Year.
All right, thank you to Megan and Cassie for that update, and we move on to Trustee Arouse.
Thank you, President Ellison. Now from Perry's High School, student reps, Nicole de la Torre Hernandez and Daisy Sanchez.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Where's the snow?
Good evening, President Idaho's Board.
Good evening, Superintendent Bennett and Cabinet.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Daisy.
Today, on this rainy day, mid-finals week, we bring you December's update.
So, starting off, we had our Thanksgiving food baskets where our students gave and donated, and it was all organized by Ms. Osuna. And we ended up collecting about 33 of them in total. So that was really fun. It was a great turnout. Check out these clips.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, lamb, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
December Student of the Month was Jordan Teleria, and from personal experience, we can say that it was quite a challenge keeping this a secret because he's so involved in everything. Check it out.
I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high, I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up.
Then we had our winter formal rally, and we just celebrated our winter sports. We had our royalty stand up and be applauded by our students, and it was a great turnout actually this week. Check it out.
We ended this month's events with our Christmas parade, and I think we can both say we know who Santa is.
So that's all we have for you this month. We hope to see you next month, and we want to wish you a happy holidays.
All right. Thank you for Nicole and Daisy for giving us that update. And we move on to Trustee Vallejo.
Please welcome Pinacati Middle School student reps Belinda Hain and Audrina Leon.
Good evening, President Dr. Adolf, school board members, Mr. Bennett, and members of the cabinet. I am Belinda Hain, and with me today is Audrina Leon. Pinacati Middle School Presentation 2021. What happened in Pinacati Middle School, also known as PMS? New Wall of Fame. The New Wall of Fame has been revealed. The Wall of Fame shows the name of students and the status they earned for the 12-week grading period. The statuses students can earn are the following: gold, bronze, silver, royal blue, and platinum. This congratulates students for their academic success. Game truck. The game truck was back. Students were allowed to play with the purchase of their ticket with Puma points. Thanksgiving break. We recently had Thanksgiving break. Students had a whole week off for Thanksgiving break and spent a great time with family and friends. Unlimited University Assembly. We had an assembly on November 19th. For the assembly, we had a motivational speaker that spoke to all 7th and 8th grade students. This assembly was held by our amazing counselor, Christopher Tequero. Finishing semester. Our semester 1 is finishing up. This week, students will take finals and teachers will submit final grades. Phenomenal teacher. Mr. Anderson was announced Educational Technology Counselor Teacher of the Month. Good job. Upcoming events. Christmas Spirit Week, winter break, end of semester 1. A little more sparkle, a little less stress. This Christmas, I wish you the very best. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you to Belinda and Audrina for that update. And that takes us to 10.4, PSEA President Jason Miller.
First things first, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from PSEA. Our special education teachers are some of the hardest working people in the district. Their job is one of the more physically demanding jobs on our campuses. The number of students SPED teachers have had to service has increased substantially since the pandemic has started. They have to focus so much on classroom management. Many of them teach classes while also maintaining a separate caseload. PSEA has great respect for the work that SPED's teachers do. Some of the successes that they have had include Mod Severe has had a new functional classroom for Mod Severe students with cash registers, work items and social areas to learn working and social skills. Paris has had 21 SPED seniors complete the Department of Rehabilitation packets for employment services after their high school graduation to meet most of their transition plan goals. IEP meetings are being held on time and occurring smoothly. Learning centers are open periods 1 through 7 with a SPED teacher to support SPED students with reading, organization, tests, and quizzes. New para-educators have been hired to help deliver services throughout the district. Now on to, unfortunately, some hard stuff. There were some very concerning events that took place last Tuesday, December 7th at Heritage High School. The way it was presented to me was 7 fights, 2 lockdowns, and a gun threat of some kind on a single day, most of which revolved around football players that have had many behavioral problems since the beginning of school. Serious behavioral problems that have been swept under the rug by the athletic director and other site administration at Heritage. We are not so much upset that this happened, although that is a thing. We are more upset that very little was done from site administration to prevent this, and preventable it was. Our site reps and PSEA members had been telling site level administration about these safety issues for a while, and our members feel like they were met with excuses from site administration. Members felt like their concerns, many of which were quite serious, were dismissed and not dealt with at all by site administration. There is a sense among our members at Heritage that the football players rule Heritage High School, and they are somehow protected by those in charge at Heritage. We have heard that students are afraid of the football players. Some PSEA members lost their lunch on that day, and we feel they should be compensated. Members and students lost their lunch, while students that were in trouble got fed from site administration during lockdown. Teachers gave their own lunch that they had brought from home to their students during lockdown. I asked reps that morning to talk to site administration to see if they could perhaps change the schedule for later in the day so that first lunch could happen. Crickets from site level administration. Site level administration seemed more intent on keeping students in class during their lunch, during class time. It would seem site level administration understands that the teachers can handle discipline, but that is what site level administration's job is. Why is the union or Heritage even having to tell site level administration what they should do for campus safety outside of the classroom? It would seem that safety would be some of the core job functions of site level administration.
Teachers know what's up. These fights weren't happening in the classroom because for the most part, if a teacher has bad classroom management, it is stress city for the entire year. Where was the cabinet in all this? The cabinet was most excellent in this process. They had already been working with site admin for plans to increase the safety of the campus prior to December 7th. But it feels like site admin either didn't listen to their own bosses or maybe didn't have the skill set to know how to implement what the cabinet told them. I am not sure where the breakdown was, but I know it was not with the cabinet because they had told me prior to this date they were working on plans and policies to help site administration with safety at Heritage. I want you to know I hate saying these hard things. I really hate it. I would rather be talking about Christmas or Santa Claus or Granta Claus. I would rather be talking about student and teacher success. I didn't make that up. I would rather be talking about student and teacher success, not fights or violence or missed lunches or bad student behavior left unchecked. Teachers and students at Heritage, they need help, and PSEA and the cabinet have vowed to bring that help. I am not the union person that wants to bring up hard stuff to simply fight with administration, and there are union people like that. Nor am I that union person that wants to shame anyone. But these things I have to talk about. I've talked about these things tonight because they were too big for my members for me to ignore and talking about. Thank you for this time.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. All right, it takes us to the next point, 15.5, CSEA President Josh Rushing.
Thank you for this chance to speak. Board President Nellison, that's the first time I've had to say that one. Cabinet Superintendent Bennett. Ditto, he did way better than I could have, so yeah. Safety's always been my thing every time, whether it's COVID, whether it's staff safety, all that everything. There seems to be a lot of growing pains this year, and we all kind of knew it. Gone for a year and a half, both the staff and the students. Like, you have to grow back into doing things, and unfortunately, some of our kids are taking longer to learn that curve. I'm hopeful something can be done, obviously, to address the safety. I know Paris has some issues. Heritage obviously had some issues, but I trust that everyone here is responsible enough to know that safety is paramount for students and staff. So I'll leave that in your guys' capable hands to discern how to handle that. On the positive note, happy holidays. You guys have a couple of agreements tonight of ours that you're voting on, so it'd be an awesome Christmas present that we ratify those and we all get a bonus. So with that being said, I got a brisket smoking, so have a good night and see you next month.
Thank you, Mr. Rushing. All right, takes us to 10.6, comments by the Board of Trustees. We'll go down the line again. Dr. Rouse.
Thank you, President Ellison. I just want to say thank you to all the teachers, and I want to include our classified members as well as CMI. I didn't address our teachers, everybody in the whole district, right, for the excellent job and the support to our students during this semester. Yeah, thank you for everything that you have done, and I wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse. Mr. Stafford?
I'd like to just comment on Mr. Miller's comments that we are all concerned about safety, and we do have to say some things that are tough to each other sometimes, but we don't mean it in a personal way. We just want the best for our students and staff. So please all have a Merry Christmas and enjoy your holiday. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford. Dr. Freeman?
Thank you. I would like to report that last month I attended the vaccination clinic over at Heritage. I got my booster shot, and I'm all boosted up, ready for it. 66 years old, so I had to do it. Also, I attended the California State School Board Association Conference in San Diego and came away with a lot of excellent information, met some amazing people, it seemed like every time I sat down somewhere, I was next to some superintendent. And I had to begin to realize that I thought maybe Mr. Bennett had planned that. I would like to share a little bit of sad news. I've been filling in the last few months over here at Paris Elementary School for a teacher who was injured and was informed this week that that mother who was killed by the DUI driver was the parent of 3 of the students over here at Paris Elementary School. And so the father, of course, is having a really difficult time in dealing with that. I understand there's some older kids too. I don't know if any of them are members of our particular district here, but I'd like everybody to keep that father, those children in mind. I just know how I would have been if something like that had happened to my wife, and my children are grown. So it's got to be really, really difficult for that family. I would like to end with a good news. After being told that Rudolph wasn't going to graduate from Reindeer School, it was funny, he managed to pass after he went down in history. Okay, never mind.
Mr. Miller, you talked about crickets? I'm just messing with you. Thank you, Dr. Freeman. Ms. Vallejo?
I just want to say that I'm very glad to be able to serve as your clerk for this year's board. I'm very excited for that. I also wanted to congratulate all the students and staff for almost completing the end of this semester. I know it's been really tough and just all around, but it's always great to be positive in these things, but know that we are doing everything we can to ensure the safety of the students and staff. And I just want to say happy holidays to everyone and stay safe.
Thank you, Ms. Vallejo. And for myself, I would like to say happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays to all the employees, classified, certificated, administration, everybody. To Mr. Miller and Mr. Rushing's point, yeah, safety is a very big concern to us as well. We definitely took notice of stuff that's been happening, and we've been talking about a lot of stuff. So it's not falling on deaf ears. And on a more happy note, I would like to thank Mr. Walters for sending me an invitation to go watch the play, Murder Mystery at the Murder Mystery. It was very entertaining, and over at Paris High School, and I really appreciate the invitation. So I took the family to go see it, and we all enjoyed it. And so that would be it for me. Takes us to 11.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items.
No takers this evening.
No takers, that's a good answer. All right, we go to 12.1, consent calendar. Approval of consent calendar items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Freeman with the motion, Dr. Arouse with the second. Please vote. And the motion passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Next is 13.1, curriculum. It's a COVID-19 update. Who am I looking at here? All right, Mr. Bruff.
San Diego. Actually, that's San Diego.
I was San Francisco for a second, but I didn't recognize any of the results.
Just a quick update for all of you. We have now over 4,891,000 cases. In California, we've now had 74,704 total deaths. So as we go into this Christmas season, it's really a time to embrace our loved ones. Many of you have spoken to that. It's just a daunting time. We have now had over 1.4 million people vaccinated their first dose and 1.2 million people fully vaccinated. So there is some hope there. And in our particular county, we've had 5,514 deaths up to date. Fortunately, we have 300, unfortunately, we have 320 people currently hospitalized due to COVID. So our thoughts and best wishes go out to them in this holiday season for a speedy recovery. The biggest thing that we have to give you an update on, I believe you all know, but it's important because we not only present to you, but we present to the public tonight that the mask requirement is back in place, as you all know. So I think this isn't news. As I look around the room, everyone is masked. But these setbacks are daunting, and particularly for our students that we serve. I think we were hoping we would be heading out of this, and we seem to be heading back into it even thicker. So all the more reason for the presentation you're going to see in a moment, which is about the mental health of our students and how we can support them as they weather this terrible situation. Okay, any questions, or very quick tonight? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruff. Moving on to 13.2, Discipline and Wellness Update. Dr. Garcia, all right. Come on down. Anybody else? Come on down. Mr. Alzabady? Yeah, we have yours? 'Tis the season, I guess, huh?
So good evening, Board President Nelson, Board Members, Superintendent Mr. Bennett, and Cabinet. This evening, we, as a team, are going to provide an update on the discipline data and the wellness centers. Joining me this evening, as you can see behind me, is Mr. Emil Alzabady, Director of Special Education, Dr. Rebecca Gelke, Coordinator of Mental Health Support Services, and our newest addition to the Educational Services Department, Mrs. Portia Calhoun, who is our district school social worker. So I just wanted to highlight her just for a moment. We want to begin this evening with a word of gratitude, and we want to give a heartfelt thank you to our counselors, social workers, social work interns, related service providers, secretaries, clerical staff, custodial staff, paraeducators, campus supervisors, general education and special education teachers, assistant principals, our school board, and cabinet. Without all of you, we would not have been able to have realized the support for our students and our families. So thank you. The next slides provide context for our suspension and expulsion data for the last 4 years. Although we are seeing a rise in discipline, this rise is synonymous with our feeder districts and surrounding member LEAs within the SELPA. More importantly, we have created our wellness centers to address these behaviors. Here is our 4-year suspension data, and we anticipated that it would be bad, and guess what? It is bad. And it pains me to report out to you that our suspensions are high, particularly in the following areas: the 48900A1, which is a cause, attempted to cause, or threatened to cause physical injury; 48900B, possession of dangerous objects; 48900C, unlawfully possessed, used, sold, or otherwise furnished or been under the influence of a controlled substance; 48900.2, sexual harassment; and 48900A1E, which is assault or battery. Now, as you can see, the severity of physical altercations, the A1, has increased. We ended the year in 2018-19 with 241 suspensions in A1. In 2019-20, we ended with 151 suspensions in A1. And this year so far, we are at 156 suspensions for A1 violations. As a result of our high suspension rate, our expulsion numbers are high too. During the first semester of the current year, expulsions reached 96, which is significantly higher than the past 3 years. You can see there in 2018-19, the number was at 36, 2019-2020, 72, and as I mentioned, just in this first semester, 96. As you all recall, during 2020-21, mental health-related concerns for our students had increased by 50%. We also know that our students did not like distance learning, and most of them did not do well. The physical distance that was required at that time limited that very thing that would assist in addressing this stress. The human connection with peers, family and friends, caring teachers and staff. And as a district, we knew that this would happen, and we had to prepare to address the trauma that students were going to come to school. Now, we don't want to stand up here and talk about all of the terrible things that are happening right now. We've been doing some great things to support our students dealing with the behavior issues as a result of the trauma. We're excited to report that we have opened up 7 wellness centers within our district. In our wellness centers, if you recall, the purpose is to connect our students with caring staff to address the social, emotional, and behavioral needs, to provide immediate support during a crisis, to establish a space to share wellness tips and support, to create a safe space for families and staff who are looking for resources to support students, and to reinforce a positive and unconditional support for all of our students. And I want to repeat that again, to reinforce a positive and unconditional support for all of our students. Our mission is to create a safe space for students to access social, emotional, and behavior support. We're excited to report that almost all of our wellness centers excuse me, are fully staffed with social workers, social work interns, and MTSS counselors. So our social workers and our interns support students who are at the Tier 2 or Tier 3 level. They participate in SSTs to identify Tier 3 students in need of a more intensive support and strategies, and they assist in monitoring the centers established within the Wellness Center. Now, our MTSS counselors, they provide Tier 1 support for students. They also assist students as they enter the wellness centers. So as students enter, they will triage to determine the level of support that's needed at that particular time. They assist with the supervision in the wellness centers, and they also provide services and resources for our families. And we are very proud of all of the work that our staff has been doing at all of the sites in order to prepare for our wellness centers. So we do want to share some pictures. California Military Institute, the social worker there is Marina Cunningham, and you can see there that they've got comfortable seating. They have a table there so kids can come in and do some journal writing, or maybe they just need a quiet moment. Over at Pinacati Middle School, the social worker there is Ebony Reed. The MTSS counselor is Alejandra Guzman. Again, comfortable seating. It's very colorful. They've got a lot of materials and supplies to support students as they come in. Liberty High School, the social worker there is Sylvia Gudino. The MTSS counselor is Deanne Dean. Again, comfortable seating, very bright and colorful and inviting, very welcoming so that students feel like they have a space. Over at Paloma Valley High School, we're in the process of identifying the social worker and the MTSS counselor. But again, you could just see the beautiful space that they've created, very colorful and comfortable and inviting. Portia, who has been over at Paloma Valley High School, she's been assisting while we're looking for the social worker and the MTSS counselor. And so she can share a little bit more when she presents in just a minute. But again, just creating a comfortable space, a safe space for all of our students at all of our sites. Paris High School, our social worker there is Nancy Garcia. Our MTSS counselor is Leslie Contreras. Again, just trying to be very creative in creating those spaces for their students. And again, just taking into consideration the culture and the needs for that particular site. Heritage High School, the social worker is Cherise Washington. The MTSS counselor is Denise Lopez. You can see there, Cherise is sitting with Mr. Harrell, the school principal, in just a comfortable seating that they had purchased for the Wellness Center. Paris Lake High School, the social worker there for Paris Lake High School and Scholar Plus. I want to make sure to include Scholar Plus. The social worker there is Cynthia Castro. The MTSS counselor, actually, he's our Think Together coordinator, Mr. Robert Bryant. They are under construction right now. They have completed painting the room, and they put some flooring down, and so they are waiting for furniture and materials and supplies. In addition to that, you can see our wellness referral process. So we as a district work collaboratively with our lead counselors, our site counselors, and our social workers to create a wellness referral process. We created this flow chart to assist in that referral process, and you can see that there is a process for each tier level, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and each one is color-coded. So at the tier 1 level, all students have access to the Wellness Center Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 and 4:30. And students can refer themselves, the teacher can refer the student, the counselor, administrator, any support staff can refer students to the Wellness Center. At the tier 2, students are referred to the Wellness Center by the counselor who submits a referral through our At Promise referral form that was created for our Wellness Center. And then at the tier 3, students who require tier 3 support services are referred to the counseling staff where they will begin that SST process in addition to submitting that At Promise referral. In addition to that, all of our counselors, assistant principals, and our principals have been trained in this referral process. In addition to that, they have this as a visual to kind of help them guide them through that referral process. So at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Gelke and Emil, and they're going to walk you through the supervision process with our social workers and our social worker interns.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Are you coming up with me? Okay, great. Good evening. So, President Nielsen and board, Mr. Bennett, cabinet. So Emil and I present about the supervision that we do for the interns. So we currently have approximately 18 interns that we work with Cal Baptist through our MOU to have them on site. So they're unpaid interns that are in their master's program gaining hours. So Emil and myself do the supervision for them. As you can see, I do the supervision on Monday. Emil will talk about his supervision on Friday. So as licensed marriage family therapists, we utilize our license in order to have the staff practice underneath it. Because they are unlicensed and they're doing clinical work with students, we need to have that oversight. And so I do that every Monday for 2 hours, where I go over theoretical orientation, I go over case presentations, we kind of look at the system and what's going on with the child, so not just the behavior that they may have been referred to, but the whole system to go with what Dr. Garcia was saying in terms of resources and referrals. They might need housing, they might need electrical, they might need some other supports that are definitely affecting our families. And so we look at that as well when we're talking about the cases. We look at analysis to include ruling in and out of other behaviors like I talked about, because usually our kiddos, we have to remember, we're getting them at a high school level, but they didn't come this way, right? There's things that have gone on in their system, in their life, that we need to understand and try and intervene with on the level that they're at. And so that's one of the things that Emil and I encourage with our students. And then I go through all their notes, because they have to write progress notes for each student. We have case files to make sure that we're on task for all of that, for our documentation, clinical oversight, and again, we've also got the mandates for abuse reporting and all the different safety measures that we need to adhere to, so we oversee that as well. And then, Emil, do you want to talk about Monday? Oh, it's Friday, I'm sorry. The other thing Emil and I do is, with CVU, we're the liaisons for the university, and so we do all the evaluations for the students, the 18 students, as well as meet with their field liaisons throughout the year in order to discuss their development.
Thank you, Dr. Gelke. So on Fridays, I meet with, I actually have 2 levels of supervision, our first-year students and our second-year students. So I spend about 4 hours every Friday with our students going through everything that you see up there. I'm not going to read all that to you, but we go through an in-depth analysis. The one thing that we keep hearing over and over again from our students is, my colleagues, meaning their colleagues in terms of other practicum student placements that they're at, are getting anywhere near the level of support they're getting here from Dr. Gelke and myself. And so we're very proud of that from that standpoint. When they leave our program, they feel competent to enroll in a clinical program, a school district program, to be hired on and move forward. In fact, one of our interns from last year is actually one of our social workers that we hired for CMI. So we're very, very grateful for the level of support that we get from our interns, and they're very grateful for the support we provide to them. Mr. Bruff, if you can go to the next slide for me. And then just for our second-year students, we actually enrich them into the world of special education. So first year, we go through all the gen ed stuff. Second year, we delve into the IEP, assessments. When they leave here, they're competent in all those areas. And so far, all of our interns have said they've not gotten that in any other practicum area. So we're very, very proud of that from that standpoint.
Yeah, and I think the other thing we want to mention that we both forgot to mention is Emil and I do the clinical oversight. So if there's ever a crisis or anything going on at the Wellness Center clinically, one of us fields the phone call during the day and helps, or after hours, and helps with the crisis that's going on, such as hospitalizations, which we've unfortunately seen an increase of this year, and or any type of child abuse reporting mandates, anything like that. So we also oversee that clinical aspect of it for our social workers. And I think Dr. Garcia?
Dr. Garcia and Portia.
Any questions about our supervision before we hand it back over? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So far, since September 1st, we've had 2,746 students access the Wellness Center. And the Wellness Center staff, they also oversee like the foster youth and homeless outreach. So out of the 66 foster students that we have thus far, they've actually seen 59 of those students. They've also welcomed them to the Wellness Center, and they've also introduced them to their counselors. The 610 homeless students, what they're kind of doing is reaching out to the families first to verify that they're McKinney-Vento, and then they're also providing family support and resources. This graph shows the accessing of the Wellness Center at each site. As we see, Paris High has almost half of the students across the district that are accessing the wellness centers. This grade percentage graph also shows a high increase for the 9th, 10th, and 11th graders that are actually accessing the wellness center, almost like double the amount of the other grades. And so for the most part, how students can access the wellness centers, they can refer themselves. Family members can refer them, or staff can also send a referral. And as we see, for the most part, students are walking in themselves to access the wellness center. There's 3 different ways as well to access it. Is a walk-in. They can be dismissed from class, or there's a check-in process, meaning that the Wellness Center staff will call them out of class. And so as we see also, 65% of those are walk-in, so students are accessing this Wellness Center on their own. So I do want to just touch bases about one of our checklists that we do when we do our triage process. And I want everyone to kind of acknowledge like the numbers. So 37 of our students states that they've had current suicidal thoughts. 76 students have had suicidal thoughts in the last 30 days. 41 have admitted to cutting, burning, or scratching themselves. 5 have forced themselves to throw up. 29 students have stated that they stop eating for days at a time. 11 students say that drugs or alcohol impact their life. 7 state that they're homeless. 85 states a loved one passed away. 26 have declared that they do not feel safe in the home, school, or the community. And 11 states that they know someone that doesn't feel safe in their home, school, or community. Now, we do have a really large number for not applicable. But when we go through that list, it's a lot of anxiety, it's a lot of peer conflict, it's a lot of family issues, and it's a lot of social interaction. And a lot of times what the wellness centers are doing at the sites is like lunchtime, we bring in we facilitate a lot of games or activities, wellness center type games or activities that students can come in and they're actually meeting new people and stepping out of their comfort zone. So that's pretty much our wellness center and the data.
Thank you, Portia. So I just wanted to say that number again. Approximately 2,800 students have been serviced and provided support through our wellness centers. Approximately 2,800 students who might not have received that support prior to the creation of our wellness centers. So we are all very excited, and we want to thank all of you for your support. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to create these opportunities, these meaningful opportunities for our students and our families. I do just want to say that we did establish the wellness centers to answer the call of our families in our community so that we can provide the immediate and effective support for all of our students. And I just want to remind us of our mission statement that we will develop a high-quality caring staff who will be dedicated to learning and connect students to their education and potential goals. We will care for all students while developing a growth mindset through collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking. We want to send the message that the Paris Union High School District truly cares about our students, our families, and our community. And we want to continue to cultivate that caring culture that we know is so important for all of our students, our families, and our community. With that, I want to thank you for your attention. And are there any questions for the team?
Thank you.
Publicly and acknowledge the addition that PUHSD has made to the work that we're doing. And while the discipline numbers are very daunting and we all knew this was going to happen, we will never know the other data points. What would have happened had we not engaged almost 2,800 students in this loving and positive way? And we'll never know that data point, and thank goodness we don't. But I know that we've avoided a lot of things through this support that this team has provided. So I just want to thank them and thank all of you for supporting the vision of this program.
Thank you, Mr. Ruff and your team. I believe Dr. Rouse had a statement.
That's okay.
You did. How dare you? No, sorry.
That's okay, Mr. Ruff. Actually, you were reading my mind. I was say exactly what you mentioned. I want to say thank you to the whole team, and thank you to you too for coordinating this process. More than 25% of our students have benefited from the Wellness Center. And as always, we have been talking about that we are committed to support the most vulnerable students. And you mentioned about the foster youth, 66, 59, almost all of them receive some services. But it's more important now during these difficult times, in the season also that we are, to really support and provide everything that we can do to our foster youth. Our homeless is 610. One of you mentioned that they have been receiving some services and resources. Can you just share some of the examples of those services and resources that the homeless families have received?
Yeah, so there are like the Meade Family Resource Center, and the Paris Meade Family Resource Center, we do provide that. We give out pantry information for food services. We also provide like shelter information for students that are like struggling with family and they're homeless. Like there's also the Safe House where they can go and kind of be away from the family if they need that time. There also is a reunification process at the Safe House as well, and then they try to reunify the family back together, but it also gives them kind of a break, so then there's like no abuse and that kind of thing going on as well. We also provide utility assistance for those that are in their home but like low income, and so yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Stafford?
I was just wondering, when someone comes to the Wellness Center, you have a walk-in or something like that, what kind of, they don't have to fear that they're creating a record of something that's going to follow them around?
No, I can jump into that one. Absolutely not. We're basically, when students come in, we're triaging. What do you need? What's going on? Because we have dedicated 5 specific centers, everything from de-escalation to if you just want to be quiet and just want to sit somewhere for a little bit, and we just check in. Nowhere in that process do we collect any of that record in a sense. It's only if we see any of our students that are chronically coming in. At that point, we're reaching out to the families. We're asking them to sign a consent form for us to do an intake with that family and with that student, so then we can figure out at that point what higher level of care we need to provide for that student and that family.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say that I am very excited about this idea, these wellness centers. I had not imagined anything really approaching it in any time in the past. Next year I'll be reaching my 50th reunion, and I thought, can you imagine the things that have happened just in the last 5 years, let alone just the last 50? So I'd say thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I admire all of you guys, especially when it comes to children and emotion. Like it's a lot of people don't really think about it. They think it's not real, and you guys are really the heroes of destigmatizing this. And this is really what we need, because high school is a very tough time for all of us. You don't know who you are yet, and college is a whole new different thing. And you guys are preparing them for it. And all of you guys, you're doing a really great job, and I'm very happy to hear that a lot of students are actually using these services, and this is something that I've been wanting to push too. Like anything when it comes to emotional stability, I want them to have this. You guys are just doing a fantastic job, and you guys should really pat yourself on the back, because this is something that even I've been wanting for like a really long time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'd also like to echo what all my fellow board members were saying, is that this is a very important piece of health that we don't always think about. We think about the physical health, but emotional health and mental health is a very big part of it for overall health. And so I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and thank you for the update.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for your kind words and publicly apologize for my enthusiasm. I'm just so proud of this team and proud of this work, and for all the reasons you've shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, and that takes us to 14.1, discipline. Information item, November 2021, monthly suspension report. Uh, 15.1, public hearing regarding trustee area redistricting following the 2020 census. It's a public hearing. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing to receive comments regarding the proposed trustee areas?
So move.
Dr. Arouse? Trustee Stafford? All right. Public hearing regarding the proposed trustee areas is now open at 6:41 p.m. Are there any public comments? Seeing Anna shake her head. Okay. Mr. Bennett, did you? Okay. We received 0 public comments. So got the Jeopardy theme song going in my head. Do do do. Yep, that one too. All right. So the public hearing regarding the proposed trustee areas is now closed at 6:42. All right. We have a motion by Dr. Arouse and a second by Mr. Stafford to approve the proposed trustee area map. You all received a copy of the map, correct? Are there any questions that you have for Ms. Raines or anybody else about the redistricting, area redistricting? No? I think we're good. Okay, then we will go ahead and vote, please. All right, the trustee area redistricting. Dr. Rouse, yours is the only one that hasn't gone through yet. There you go. Thank you. Has passed 5 in favor, 0 opposed. And that takes us to 15.2, personnel, certificated personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Freeman will give it to Trustee Vallejo. All right. You had one question, yes.
This is not the one where we get stuff already working, right?
I will refer that. That's a class, I believe that was a classified. Okay, so please vote. And 15.2 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Leads us to 15.3 personnel, classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman? Any seconds?
Second.
Trustee Vallejo with the second. All right. I believe you had. Okay. Okay. The process. All right. No other comments or questions? Please vote. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have a question, a comment.
I don't know how much I can say about this, but we've talked about it, and I think everybody understands the point. So that being said, I agree with Dr. Rao as far as this is not a personal issue or any one person per se. So
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, questions? Okay. Okay, so 15.3 does pass. 3 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 abstention. That leads us to 15.4, Memorandum of Understanding between the Paris Union High School District and California School Employees Association and its chapter Paris Valley number 469 regarding the impacts and effects of weekly COVID-19 testing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr.
Second.
Freeman with the motion, Dr. Arouse with the second. Any questions on the MOU? No? Please vote. And 15.4 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.5, personnel, tentative agreement between the Paris Union High School District and the California School Employees Association and its chapter, Paris Valley number 469, regarding the 2021 and 2020 to 21 and 21 to 22 reopener negotiations. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Trustee Stafford with the motion and Dr. Freeman with the second. Please vote. $15.5 passes with a vote of 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.6, personnel, approval of a one-time off-schedule bonus payment for classified employee trainee. Sorry, we get the wrong thing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
We'll have
Okay,
Ms. Vallejo with the motion and Dr. Arouse with the second. Any questions, comments? No? Please vote. And 15.6 passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.7, personnel, approval of one-time off-schedule bonus payment for management and confidential employees. Do I have a motion?
So, second.
Okay, well, Trustee Stafford with the motion and Dr. Freeman with the second. Do I have any comments, questions? No? Please vote. $15.7 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. $15.8, 2022 to 23, 2023 to 24, and 2024 to 25 student teacher calendars. These are the calendars for the next 3 years. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Arouse with a motion.
Second.
Dr. Freeman with a second. Do we have any questions, concerns, comments? No? Okay, please vote. $15.8 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.9, curriculum, agreement with a new project to inspire and empower students and staff district-wide. This is funded through Title IV funds in the amount of $85,071.42, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman?
Second.
Ms. Vallejo? All right, any questions? Nope, please vote. $15.9 passes with a vote of 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.10, curriculum, Paris Union High School District Educator Effectiveness Block Grant. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Arouse?
Second.
Trustee Stafford with a second. Please vote. $15.10 passes with 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.11, Buildings and Grounds, ratification of change order number 23-021 for bid category 23, ProCraft Incorporated for the Liberty High School project. This is funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $15,595.50, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman?
Second.
Trustee Stafford? Any questions? No? Please vote. $15.11 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.12, Building and Grounds, ratification of change order number 02-006 for bid category 40, Pierre Landscape Incorporated for the Liberty High School Aquatic Facilities Project. This is funded through various facilities funds in the amount of $219,004, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Vallejo?
Second.
Dr. Arouse with a second. Please vote. $15.12 passes with 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.13, Building and Grounds, the authorization to utilize the Reef Sunset Unified School District Piggyback Supply Services contract as awarded to American Modular Systems and approval of agreement for the purchase of a relocatable concession building at Paris High School. This is funded through various facilities funds at a cost not to exceed $435,680, not the general fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman with the motion.
Second.
Trustee Vallejo with the second. Please vote. And 15.13 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.14, Building and Grounds, Resolution number 12, 21-22, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Paris Union High School District approving the selection of a leaseback contractor for the Paloma Valley High School Improvements Project. No fiscal impact. Do I have a motion? Trustee Stafford?
Second.
Dr. Freeman with a second. Please vote. And 15.14 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.15, report of purchases, November 2021. This is an action item. Do I have a motion? Trustee
Second.
Stafford and Dr. Freeman with a second. Please vote. And 15.15 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.16, disclosure of collective bargaining agreement, AB 1200, for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022, with the California School Employees Association, Chapter 469. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Vallejo?
Second.
Dr. Arouse with a second. Please vote. (15.16) passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 15.17, approval of the 2021 to 22 first interim financial report with a positive certification of the Paris Union High School District's financial condition, no fiscal impact. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Dr. Freeman.
Second.
Trustee Vallejo with a second. Any questions, comments, anything like that? No? No. She does have one? Okay, I wasn't sure, but very short. You better make it very short. No, no, I'm teasing. Not substitute Sarah. Is that your
Yeah,
official title?
I can do
Not
one.
substitute Sarah?
You want me to connect, or you want it?
Yeah, that's Staples Center right there, so that's LA. That was Staples Center.
Yeah, right.
Not that one, the one. Now it's the crypto.com, yeah.
I think it's not, I think it's like
Yeah, January 1st.
Where's that? Just the slideshow?
Yeah.
There we go. We got it.
We just had a side conversation, let you guys do all that.
Okay. Good evening. I promised to make this short. President Nielsen, congratulations, board, Superintendent Bennett, and cabinet. So talking about the first interim report, I'd like to bring your attention to the 21-22 budget. You notice the ending fund balance is going down and the corresponding expenditures are going up. That is because we included the negotiated raises for the employees in the interim as well as the projected out years. As you may recall, there is going to be a 10% cap beginning next year, 22-23. So the board will need to bring forth a resolution to commit anything above 10% with your authorization. And then if you notice too, in the out years, the revenue, specifically the LCFF revenue, is going up. And that's because we are now projecting, instead of a 0% enrollment growth, a 2% enrollment growth, and we'll go over that in the next slide. So bringing your attention to ADA, as you are probably remember, our ADA is funded on current year ADA or what's called a prior year guarantee, whichever is higher. So in this particular case, because we're kind of in an odd year, it would be the 1920 prior year guarantee. And if you notice, our current ADA is kind of low. So to be conservative, we did budget as if we were going to get the prior year guarantee, although there is still time to make up attendance and bring that number up and get funded at a higher ADA. Just to be conservative, we budgeted at the prior year. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was our growth. So this year, 21-22, we originally budgeted a 0.6% growth in enrollment, and we actually grew over 4%. So it was like 4.62%. So keeping that in mind, and as well as all the housing that is still continuing to go up, in the out years, we budgeted an additional 2% and 2%. And so that's why the enrollment is going up. And then also assuming that our ADA goes back to normal in the out years. So these are the assumptions that were built the MYP, and we went over some of those already with the enrollment and the growth. One thing that I'd like to note is that with the governor's budget, you know, these assumptions are most likely going to change, like we are expecting higher COLAs, but we can't put that in there until that's released. So any of those changes, as well as any other major changes, will be brought to you on the second interim. And I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, we just decided, you know, after lengthy presentations, all of this is going to change in a matter of weeks. So we thought not to spend a whole lot of time, and we'll wait for the January governor's budget where we're expecting a lot higher COLAs, and then just seemed more rational to spend the time then when we have better
So with that, we recommend a positive certification because we can meet our financial obligations in this year and the 2 out years. And like Candace said, the governor will release his budget in January, and then we'll bring all of those changes to you in the second interim. So with that, if there's no questions, that concludes my report. Fabulous. No problem. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, since there are no questions, we'll please vote. All right, 15.17 passes, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. 16.1, information item, new career technical education course under the RCOE Health Science and Medical Technology sector. This is RCOE Anatomy and Physiology for the Health Profession. This does meet A to G requirements. 16.2, business revolving cash report for November 2021. Still revolving, still has cash. 16.3, information item, board policies. This is Series 3000, business and non-instructional operations. 16.4 is also an information item that is Series 4000 for personnel. 17.1, closed session if necessary.
Not necessary.
Very good answer. We do not need to reconvene. 19.1, other items by the superintendent.
Just real quick, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and enjoy your time off, get some rest, come back reinvigorated in January, and to the board also, enjoy your holidays, enjoy your families. Thank you.
Thank you. 20.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Dr. Arouse, nothing? Mr. Stafford, nothing? Dr. Freeman?
I just want to say that after the reaction to the last time I spoke, I think that I made a New Year's resolution to do away with the attempts at humor. You know how long we keep them.
Thank you. Trustee Vallejo? You're good? Okay, nothing else for me as well? That leads us to 21.1, adjournment. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have Dr. Freeman and Dr. Arau with a second. Do we need to talk about this for half an hour? No? Okay, please vote. And we are adjourned with a 5-0 vote at 7:01. We have, yes, we do have an organization. Yep, Capital Facilities Corporation meeting. Yep, got to turn the computer back on, sorry. All right, you guys can join the meeting whenever you're ready. Do you need to get back to the...
Thank you, sir.
You do? All right.
We're just waiting for Tony to get logged in.
Thank you, Mr. Scorpanish. I saw your tweet.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the Capital Facilities Corporation Board meeting for the Parish Union High School District at 7:03 PM. Invitation to address the Board of Directors on non-agendized items. We have none, so we'll continue on to our action items. Number 4.1, general function, Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation, election of officers for the chairman. Do we have a nomination for chairman?
I nominate Elizabeth Vallejo. I guess I scared her.
So we had a motion to nominate Elizabeth Vallejo. Tony seconds.
Second.
Mr. Stafford second, I'm sorry. Any other nominations? Hearing none, could you please
I
vote?
knew there wasn't anything to do.
Tony.
Just wanted to get a reaction out of you. Okay.
So now you run the meeting now, Ms. Vallejo.
You didn't realize you got yourself involved in that, did you?
14.2.
Look at Ms. Rain, she said no.
4.2?
4.2, yeah.
4.2, yeah.
That's after, it comes after 4.1, but before
All you
43.
do is. Don't turn your microphone on, though.
Okay, so 4.2, Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation, election of officers, secretary/treasurer. Are there any nominations?
Nominate Dr. Freeman.
I second.
I knew that was coming. Never start, human nature, you always know what you're going to do. Exactly what you did.
Nomination by Dr. Rao,
Okay,
second by myself.
Okay, we have a nomination by Dr. Rao, second by David Nielsen.
Any other nominations?
Any other nominations?
No,
Okay,
let's vote.
now let's vote.
Don't I get a speech?
As soon as you're elected, buddy.
It'd be funny if we all abstained.
You just don't have a secretary.
Okay, and it passes with 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Congratulations, Dr. Freeman.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dr. Freeman.
I would.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll give up speeches for the rest of this year.
You won't need this to leave.
Okay, and the next one's going to be 4.3, general functions, Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation, authorization of necessary filings. Filings.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by Dr. Freeman, second by Mr. Nielsen, and now let's all vote.
Hey, you know, she's going to make a good president someday.
She's getting some
Nope.
practice right now.
Okay, and the vote has been 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, and the next one's going to be 4.4, general functions, Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation, authorization for the 2021-2022 audit. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second. Give it to him.
Motion by Nielsen, second by Dr. Rao. Now let's vote. Okay, it has been passed, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. And we have 4.5 general functions, minutes of the Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation meetings of December 1st.
December 16th.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, here it says there's a one. Oh, that one, sorry. Minutes of the Paris Valley Schools Capital Facilities Corporation meetings of December 16, 2020. Now, do we have a motion? Moved by Dr. Rao, second by Mr. Stafford. Now let's vote. And it has been approved, 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Okay, now 5.1, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Adjourned by Dr. Freeman and second by Dr. Rao. And okay, we have 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
Tell it we're adjourned at what time?
And we are going to adjourn at 7:09 p.m.